Pretty good today? You doing all right? Yeah.
So the one thing everybody's wanting to know is how to add a page that will redirect to their Kelly.
I thought the room would be packed, but
That's what I thought too, right?
We
Where
can
is,
discuss
where are
that.
all the agents?
We can
And then
discuss
later
that.
they do not know what to do.
maybe everybody knows more than I do.
No,
Or if you can upload.
don't let them
That
fool
would
you.
not surprise
Don't
me.
let them
We
fool
can
you.
definitely talk about what that is, what that looks like. So, let me get to where I can get to, what's it called, OneDrive, and then my slide deck, what I've got. How's everybody doing today? I apologize for running a little bit slow. Normally, I'm the over-prepared, be there early, on time, all that kind of stuff. I'm running just a moment behind my normal thing because, well, I had to finish up my my dental work this morning. So I know if anybody's ever dealt with that, you deal on their timetable.
What?
You are? How much would you have it? I sit myself every time. It's really weird. Yes. It's not easy necessarily. Move that way.
What's up, Jim?
Maybe not you.
Oh, that's fine. Well, actually, it feels like it belongs, because I was in Johnson City, Tennessee yesterday afternoon, so. Oh, yeah? Yep. Up the Rashville.
How's your experience?
Yep. It's a very, very pretty drive. And it's really not terrible traffic. In Asheville, there's a weird exchange you have to go through that I always miss the turn and then I have to go back around. It's like right over by the bridge or whatever. So it's like, you go up 85 and you get on like 23 or something like that, and it's like a US highway.
Very good, so.
Yep, and then it gets on the highway. Oh, yeah. So I went up on Monday afternoon and taught class and came up. A horrible hotel. Because I thought I picked a better one the last time, and it was not a good choice. Yeah, no, I picked the same bad hotel twice. My, let's see, the spigot came off in the shower. I'm like trying to take a shower, I was like, oh my God. I did. I didn't really do a lot of research, let's be honest. Alright. What's going on, everybody? How are we doing?
Good.
Good. Well, we're gonna have some fun, so hang on a second, let me get to blank spot, because I like to be able to take some notes in this. Already had one request, I'm really talking about one particular request we'll get in on landing pages. I think I know where we're going on this. However, I'm gonna also give you guys some food for thought in that space as well. So, well, since we had an appointment at 11 o'clock and it is 11:02, then here I am. We have an appointment. So today we're going to be talking about making the most of your KW agent website. Now, I want you guys to get out of this session what you need. I could talk about websites all day long. I'll be honest, there's a lot you can do with our websites, and most of what you can do with your website, to be honest, you probably don't even need. Depends on how you run your business. You can do a lot with it. So, for those who don't know me though, hi, I'm Patrick Malden. I'm your Director of Technology and Resources here in the Keller Williams Southeast region, and I'm actually a neighbor here in East Cobb. I live right around the corner, over by Lower Roswell and Johnson Ferry, so I'm just right down the road from here. If you ever see me out, feel free to wave. I know I run into Page Morgan every once in a while, over at Kroger and stuff like that. So, but I've been in real estate now about 12 years. Worked with thousands of agents just like you guys to be able to grow and scale your real estate business using proven systems, models, and tools. I worked for another brokerage before being here, and I was an MCA at Keller Williams in Hoover, Alabama for 3 or 4 years, and then now I've been working for the region, doing technology and really helping you guys implement things.
And you love DragonCon.
And I do love DragonCon. Actually, I have a small little plug to that. So since we're all Atlanta people, we know what DragonCon is, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Like even if you're not a nerd, you know, okay? So I turned 42 this year, okay? And for me turning 42, I'm gonna dress up as Arthur Dent from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and I'm gonna carry around a copy of the Hitchhiker's Guide and get people to take pictures with me and sign it, giving me well wishes. Now, if you're not a nerd, you're probably going, I don't understand how any of this makes any sense. That entire movie is about a guy who goes on this journey, or whatever, hitchhiking across the galaxy, but there's a computer they build in it that is supposed to come up with the ultimate answer to the ultimate question. And the answer it spits out is 42.
What's the name of the movie?
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Yes.
I just looked them up. What color robe are you wearing?
I am wearing the green one.
Okay.
So from the Zooey Deschanel, the most recent Hitchhiker's Guide film adaptation, which is my favorite. I've got the books, they're great. That film adaptation is just awesome. It has singing dolphins at the beginning of it, and if you want to see it, it's great. But one of the things I always like to add into classes, I've started adding more into this, is that I love Keller Williams for the fact that one of the things that we teach here is how to live a life by design and how to live your best life. And my best life includes different things than your best life. However, 7 years ago, before I joined Keller Williams, before Kathy Gibson pulled me into the MCA role, kicking and screaming, I thought that everything in life just came as it came. Okay, I went with the flow. I thought that you didn't really get a choice in things, and there were a lot of things I wanted to do. There were a lot of things I wanted to be, and I didn't think that that was for a person like me. Has anyone else ever felt like that?
Yes.
Well, one of the things I love about the environment we're here is that we are in here is that we don't have to live in that space. Okay, you can be whoever you want to be. You can do whatever you want. So I say all this to outside of real estate, there are things that are wildly important to me that I'm passionate about. The one here on the far left, she was very mad that I just left the house, okay? After Daddy was gone yesterday to teach a class, well, yesterday and the day before, she was very mad, but that's my 2-year-old Ember. She's the cutest kid you've ever seen. That, of course, is Olivia, my 10-year-old. She is super smart, super creative. She's very much like me. That's actually a picture from Dragon Con last year, so it's funny that Jim, you said that. That's me and my wife going to Dragon Con. That's about to hop on the MARTA. And then, of course, outside of all of this, I'm a habitual science fiction writer. So one of the reasons I feel like I'm an effective communicator is because I write novels. And that's all kind of, that's what a book is about, it's effective communication. So anyway, Keller Williams has given me the opportunity, the mindset, the drive, really the encouragement to be able to go do the things that help me live my best life and my life by design. Everything we do here today, everything we do here every single day is to fund our best life. So I don't want you guys to get too caught in the weeds of going, it's just about selling houses. It's not about selling houses, okay? That's the vehicle. But really what it's all about is, what do you want to get out of this life that we have? And so, you get to choose. All right, Command App, does everybody know what this is?
Yeah.
I have a slide here just to remind me to mention it. Awesome. Love the Command App. Also want to remind you guys, upcoming regional classes, if you go to r19zoom.com, that is my regional training calendar. So all my classes that I teach online, that's where you're going to find them.
Oh.
The one I would like to draw your attention to is, well, I guess it's my next class on the calendar. Maybe not my next, maybe the one after that, but on September 12th, we're having Successes Under Your Command again. So that is our once a quarter, big command class that lasts all day.
Oh.
And so the 5 sessions we're going to be covering this time, I think, are very important in the market we're in right now. So there's, I always teach on database. This is always something that's part of it because I feel like this is foundational. And who here feels like they have the absolute perfect database and it's everything it needs to be?
No.
Yeah, no one ever raised their hand because they're like, oh, this is a work in progress. So, so we're going to be doing database at the beginning of the day, getting contacts in, what that looks like, follow up, all of that. But the second thing we're going to do is this thing called database deep work, okay? And we are going to spend an hour as a group working through our own databases with some guided exercises. I did this on a Zoom platform a few times, and was anybody in there? Were you in there? Did you enjoy it?
I did, it was cool. I actually did it right then.
I love it. So we're gonna do that in an hour-long session. Essentially, it's like, here's the exercise. Here's some very gentle music. I'm gonna remind you of what you are, and we're gonna all do the same activity at the same time. I know that sounds weird, but Cal Newport, in his research on this thing called deep work, discovered that when you put a bunch of people in a room, it was mathematicians he used, you put a bunch of people in a room all doing the same task without any interruptions, their efficiency is so much higher. Now I go through a lot more of the reasons why in that, but so if you want your database to look great, show up, do the activities with us, and your database can be a lot better positioned.
And which one was it?
So, this is on September the 12th. We're also gonna be doing Google paid ads. So that is something that I'm not a super expert on, so I got a super expert to teach Google paid ads for you guys. We're also gonna be going through pretty much the content we're doing today. It's gonna be one of the sessions, so just a scoop if you need a refresher. And then at the end of the day, we're gonna be how to use Command to create your ultimate buyer representation presentation, okay? Now, I am not a broker. The region is not a broker. We are not telling you what to say, we're just showing you how to present it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Why it's important. That's what we're gonna talk about at the end of the day. So that's gonna be a cool session. Find that at R19 Zoom. Register for it if you can be there. On the day of it, of course, be there, but if you register, you're at least gonna get the recordings. It's a lot more fun if you're there. And the deep work part doesn't work on a recording, I'm just gonna tell you. The magic dies on a recording. So first of all, before we really jump into this, because we did have some questions about this, what do you guys want to get out of today? Because I have a lot of content, and I don't think we'll be able to get to everything, and so I'd rather be more, intentional about that, so, what you got?
I want to be able to create a landing page on my website so that I can put commissions there.
Uh-huh, yep,
Yes, I would like that.
alright,
They have of them.
okay. Anybody else have anything different than that?
Ever
what I
since
want.
the update, I had a lot of like client reviews and extra pages, this is all gone after. So
That
I'd like
is
to know how
correct.
to add that
How
back.
to recreate these things?
Yes,
Okay, yep, recreate. Did you happen to have those reviews saved anywhere?
Google,
Okay, good, alright, that's good news. So you can definitely, if you've got a copy of them, we can definitely put them on there, so recreate your pages.
I had like a page with where I would send link to my clients, see what your house is worth, and it was like embedded link to something like MLS was providing.
Gotcha. Good news on that, Command has its own home evaluation plugin now. So you don't have to use a third party for that, it does have it. And I will say that my house, right around the corner from here, is accurate-ish. Okay, so it's enough for lead capture, I'll put it that way, which is the whole point of having a home evaluation. You don't wanna give them a perfect number, because then what's the point? They go to your home evaluation, then they FISBO. You want them opening the conversation with you is what they want, so. Okay, anything else?
Pretty basic, so I just got back in, 6 months ago, so I have my website.
Okay.
And that's it, I've got my website. So, I mean, I wanna use it, or do I need to go out and buy one with my own URL or everything? So I wanna use it to its fullest.
Okay, now on the custom URL piece specifically, I'll speak to that because I don't have it in my content. If anybody does want like a domain name that they're gonna use, you can go to like GoDaddy, whoever, buy that, make sure it's compliant with whatever you have to, the things you can't have in your domain name, don't have them. The KW websites do not allow you to do full domain control, which means if I were to get, Patrick's MariettaHomes.com, I don't know, I'm just throwing something random out.
Yeah.
If somebody were to go to it, they would click on that and then it would redirect to my Keller Williams website. So they can go to it, that's fine, but it's still gonna redirect to a different, what they call subdomain. Okay, so mine is fitzpatrick.kw.com is where it goes. So, okay, we had a couple other hands, I missed, yes.
Mine's is pretty much the same.
Okay.
I have the website and that's it. I just look at it and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. So,
Okay, alright, we can definitely address that. Okay, cool. Well then let's do this, let's go ahead and jump into a couple pieces. So I hope to hit all these by the time we get to the end of today's session. If there's anything that we do not get to, what I'm gonna do is, there's a QR code I'm gonna share at the end. If you will scan it and leave us a review, I will give you follow-up information. You can ask me any additional questions you want. It's just the easiest way for me to know who showed up. and communicate with you guys directly, and I'll send you an email either this afternoon or tomorrow morning, and then if you have, because you learn something and then later you're like, oh my gosh, I totally want to do this thing, but I forgot to ask. So number one, you need to make sure that your marketing profile is set up. Does anyone here know what that is? Y'all know what your marketing profiles are?
Yes.
Okay. Your marketing profile is your public facing profile inside of Command. So I'm gonna show you guys where it is, but we won't spend any time going through it, okay? I just wanna make sure that you guys know where it's at. If you don't have it set up, your website's not gonna work. If you don't have it set up, you can't send smart plans. Like there's a lot in Command that breaks down if you don't have a marketing profile because it doesn't know what information to share. We're gonna talk about the different pages on your website and how to set things up like featured listings and things of that nature, the format of it. The new featured listings or listing list or whatever they call the module, it's very robust. It doesn't seem so when you first look at it. When you first look at it, it kind of looks like a bunch of gobbledygook. And then you're like, after you get in there, you can see how the functions work. It's really great. We're gonna walk through testimonial blogs, so going back to that recreating pages, we're gonna show you how to do that, how to add content modules to your pages, and then how, we won't really have time to get into how to source blog content. However, there's a lot of options on that, and if you're wanting to go down that road, you can always reach out to me, because I did teach a class on that yesterday in Tennessee, and I've got content for that. But if you're not that far down the road, don't worry about blogs, okay? I don't want to overwhelm anybody and give you too many things to do. We'll also talk about some optional website enhancements you can do, custom pages, so we're talking about the whole commission thing. We can talk about what that looks like, and landing pages. And honestly, in the commission space, the safest thing, so I am told, is for you not to create a custom page, but for you to create a landing page. Reason why is custom pages show up in your navigation. Landing pages do not. Meaning, landing pages will only be seen by people that you send to those pages. Now, I have heard a lot of very interesting ways of circumventing this particular settlement, and some of these, I have a feeling, will end up with people landed in pretty major lawsuits in the not too distant future. There's one going around, and I'm not gonna name any names, because it is connected to this market center in one way, where someone is setting up a website where multiple brokerages can all share their cooperative compensation. I am gonna recommend against being a part of anything like that. Okay? One of the reasons why is that at Mega Agent Camp, KWRI shared with us something from legal that said any website that contains cooperative compensation information should only include information from your own brokerage. Okay? You start bringing other brokerages into one place, what does that kind of sound like?
Class action.
Yeah, it sounds like an MLS to me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the whole point of this. I understand and I sympathize with the fact that, hey, we want to get to the information quickly. I'm gonna tell you from mega agents I've talked to in the field, the ones who get the best results, pick up the phone and they just talk to somebody. And that's not a bad thing. And I know if anybody's maybe younger or newer in real estate, you may be like, oh my gosh, nobody calls me back. Look, if they're not gonna call or text you back on this, then maybe they don't want an offer on their property. And maybe they're not representing their sellers at the highest level. That's just my personal opinion. Take that for what it is. So.
But if you do a landing page, how would it be 2 clicks away?
If you do a landing page, it would be 2 clicks away from from the MLS, they're requesting it from you. It is not coming from a feed. This is, I'm not an attorney, guys, this is just my understanding of it. It's not coming from the feed, it is not coming from the MLS. If say I'm like, hey Kimberly, I'm just wondering, what are you offering or whatever? And then you send me a link to my page, be like, it's all in here. You can literally save it on your phone, it's all in
You
here.
wouldn't be able to put the link like in showing time or private.
I do not believe you can do that.
You can, I got flagged for that.
Yeah.
You got that for what?
I believe that,
Putting it in
Link
showing
from showing time, where like if they schedule a
Uh-huh.
showing, I had it go out, and then it was a link to a link. Cause
Yep.
I thought we could do that in the beginning, and FMLS already said no, I think it's because Zillow owns showing time,
yep.
and they don't want that, so they
Yep.
already told me to take it off.
So it's probably gonna come down to a personal touch at this point. Now, there are ways you can augment that. Like I said, if you have 10 listings and you wanna keep track of which one they're asking about, You could literally copy and have something saved on your phone, and when they text you about it, or they call you, say, hey, I'm gonna text you this real quick, and just say, here's the information, and it goes to a page that you manage, okay? As far as I'm aware, that's okay, because you're directly sending it to them, that is just my understanding.
Can
Yes,
those landing pages be accessed from the command app?
no, you would have to have that address ahead of time.
No, I mean for us to be able to send it out.
No, you would have to have it like saved on your phone in like your notes or
That's
something
fine.
like that,
Okay.
yeah. Although, well, no, I wouldn't go that route, I was about to get, I
Really
wouldn't do that, I was like, although, hang on a second, you could create it in a smart plan and then add a tag trigger, and then I'm like, no, this is more work than it's, I would just like, literally, you could save it in the notes on your phone.
As a PDF.
Or a keyboard short, well, not even that, if you have the page, you update the page.
Yeah.
So I say, hey, I need to know about 1234 Main Street, you just copy and paste something into the text that said, here's the information you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it goes to that page.
Got it.
And then you just maintain the page.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I did hear one agent, Atlanta, and I don't know if this is compliant or not, that set something up with a text autoresponder for this. So that is something you could always, that is not necessarily a command thing. You could, she used a website to host the offer information is what she had called it. However, I don't know how compliant that is, okay? I think it depends on where you put that to get offer information, text, whatever. I think that's where it becomes if it's okay or not. I think if you're directly sending it to somebody, it's not an issue, or if it was on a sign or something. But it really comes back to the MLS. I'm pretty sure if you put anything in there in the MLS, it's kind of a no-no, just like we were. So. Although, I will say this 1,000 times today, I'm not your broker, I'm not an attorney, I only play one on TV, I don't know anything about this, okay? So, I just know what I have been told, and yeah, I cannot give you legal advice. I definitely do not want to get pinged for, unlicensed practice of law, I think is what the correct term is, but anyway. As always, guys, today's about progress, not perfection. Find one or two things you can put into practice today, put them into practice immediately. Guys, we know the market's chaotic. We just talked about it, okay? This is your opportunity though. I'm gonna tie that back in, that you guys have a huge opportunity to market share right now. I honestly feel like open houses are gonna be a big deal right now too, and I would take advantage of that, okay? I have another class that I teach around open house triggers. Did we do that one?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. And that kind of process, I would set something like that up with like the open house landing pages in Command with an auto responder from Command to the smart plan and all that. I have a workbook I can give you guys that goes through the steps on how to set that up. We'll do that with the QR code at the end. And so, all right, so let's go to the new KW agent websites, and let's just show you guys what these look like and how cool they can look. Now, I love how I set up my agent website. If y'all notice, I even have this really nice video that runs here at the top. How cool does that look?
Can you change that?
Yes,
You can.
100%. You make it anything you want.
And that's the city of Atlanta, right?
That is Atlanta.
That's not LA or New
It's not
York
LA.
or.
This is not a command video, okay? I got this from a stock photo website I use for creating content for the region called Envato Elements. If anybody wants to write that down. It's spelled ENVATO, I believe. Elements.
ENVOTO.
ENVATO. And basically what Envato is it is a subscription. You pay like $30 a month to be part of it. You gather what stock content you want. There's certain rules around how you can use their license, but for things like this, it's completely appropriate. So if an attorney ever sent me a letter and said, hey, you're using this video without permission, I can go, well, hang on a second, I've got the license agreement from the content creator through Envato, and that ends right there. You get what I'm saying? One of the things on websites you gotta be very, very careful is always make sure you are putting content on your website that you have the rights to put on your website. Because I promise you, someone in this market center has gotten a $5,000 or $6,000 bill from an attorney for putting a picture of an Atlanta skyline that they grabbed off of Google Images. I promise you. Now, they may not willingly speak up about it now because it may be a little embarrassing, but I promise you that it's happened to at least one person in this market center. I don't want that to be you. So, this video right here, I got from Envato. The catch to the videos up there, if you do want to do the videos, is you have to have a Vimeo account to host it. Okay, there are a couple extra steps on that. We won't go through that today, but do know that it is possible and it's not super difficult. So if you do want to add a video and you get stuck, I'm happy to send over instructions on that. But I thought that was a cool drone video. Y'all can't see as much because it's a little washed out, but like the contrast on it's awesome.
Patrick, is that something, I know you said you can send like a step-by-step, is that something we can get like a walkthrough video just sent to be able to share?
For the video portion?
On just how to add that, because that was a lot of the steps that you just said.
Potentially, yeah.
My bad.
Exactly.
Narrator reads aloud text on the screen.
Alright. We're gonna shut this off, so.
We'll do this. Set a reminder for Friday at 9 a.m. Vimeo walkthrough video. And I will intend to do a walkthrough video for you guys on that, because I could reuse that, but I haven't done one yet. So anyway, that's up there at the top. Right here is the featured listings. Yes.
So I have set this up before, and now it's saying, visit expert mode.
Yes. Okay, we'll get to that.
Okay.
Yep, that is new. That is brand new. So featured listings. So the featured listings in here, guys, y'all can do all kinds of things with it. You can set this up to where I only want to show homes that I've sold. Okay? Just make sure it actually says homes that I've sold instead of, like homes for sale. You can also, you can set guardrails around what kind of properties you want a listing. You can have it pull only your listings or listings from your team. You have a lot of options. I have mine set up to where it drops a pin on the map in Dunwoody, since the Southeast Region's office is in Dunwoody. It goes out, I want to say 10 miles in every direction and pulls properties that are 650,000 or more, that are single family, condos and co-ops, and I think that's it. I think that's the only two I selected, which is why I'm getting these properties in my feed. I also have it set to sort by most recently changed, or most recently updated, I think it might say. Meaning, if somebody adds a virtual tour, an open house, a new listing, they come first. Okay, so it doesn't show anything old. Although, if I was running, if I was actively producing real estate and I had 10 listings, what do you think I'm probably gonna do? Put my listings on there, yeah. So you can pick whatever you need to do. If you don't have any listings, we've got options. If you have a ton of listings, go for it. Yes?
With our area being an FMLS and Georgia MLS, we get a lot of duplicates. Is there a way around filtering that?
There is not. The reason why is because there's only 5 markets in the United States that even do this. Yeah. It doesn't always show up as duplicates in this feed though. I don't know what the differentiator is, but I have noticed that not every time I do this is there a duplicate. And because usually when they are, they're side by side.
Yeah, I think it depends on how quick they feed over from each MLS.
Yep.
Sometimes they'll be like 5 apart, sometimes right next to each other.
Yep, so unfortunately, there's really not much we can do about it at this point, and that has been feedback we have given the listings team for
10 years.
always.
The whole time, yes.
Since always.
Yeah.
So, sorry guys. Yes,
Are you gonna show us how to set that up?
yes, yep, that's what we're gonna do here in just a second. Testimonials. Testimonials are great. You can load them in here. They're very easy to add. You literally just act like you are someone adding a testimonial on here. I'll show you how to add them to your page once you get to it. But if somebody comes to your site and they leave a review is what they call it. The really cool thing is you don't have to display that review. Because if it turns out to be a 1-star review and they're like, you know what, this person sucks and I never want to work with them again, you don't have to display that. Me personally, unfortunately, on the other side of my life, my writing side, I have to put up with that on Amazon. I have 1-star reviews on my books, and clearly, reading the review, the book was not for them, but it was for the other, so many people that read it. But I get stuck with their 1-star review for always, okay? You get to control that here on your page. So only add reviews that add value to your value proposition. The rest of them, I mean, you can have them somewhere else. Now, Google, y'all can't do anything about it. Somebody can leave you a 1-star review on Google, sorry. You may wanna go talk to the person and say, what's going on? You know, can we work something out on that? The blog,
Is that a live site for you?
oh, I'm sorry,
Is that a live site for you?
yeah, absolutely.
I think career is not spelled right.
It could very well not be spelled right, because that is one of those words I'm challenged with.
I wasn't, I'm an
It's only 2
editor.
hours.
I'm an editor.
Well, and I'm a writer, and I'm not a very good speller, okay? I'm a great writer, I'm not a very good speller.
That's why you have editors.
All of my tools, I do have an editor, I just don't for this kind of stuff. I'll fix that here in a second when we go in. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Because I was very embarrassed the other day, I sent an email out through the region that had a misspelled word in the subject line. Fun fact, guys, Google does not spell check subject lines. It spell checks body, it does not spell check subject lines. Why that is, I cannot figure that out. I have done research on this and none of it makes any sense. By the way, I love the Oxford comma, I will die on that. Okay, so this is the blog content. I added my own blog content past the first couple ones. I've been taking articles that I wrote for the Southeast Regions newsletter and putting them on here as content. Just to kind of get familiar with the process for you guys. But anyway. Y'all like how the basic look of this? Okay. You can do what you want with it. Y'all will notice when you log in, it's gonna look a certain way for all of you. It's just because you haven't taken any changes. So going back to the basic and expert mode, question. To get started on this, and if someone has a real estate team in here, it's a similar process, just a little bit different on how you get started on this. But we're gonna go down to the bottom where it says websites.
Can you show real quick the marketing profile?
Oh, marketing profile, thank you, yeah. To get your marketing profile, you need to make edits on this. And by the way, if you have questions, it's not complicated to look for, but if you have issues with your marketing profile, you can always go to answers.kw.com, or you can even ask Quick now. How do I fill out my marketing profile? Sure, let's see what Quick gets us. If you ever get stuck in Command, it's our AI that we have now. So it will have a conversation with you, kind of like ChatGPT, and you just ask it questions in plain language.
Where is that?
That's in the bottom right of Command.
Okay.
There's a little sparkly little circle down there. There you go. And it will give you a step-by-step. To get there though, for the marketing profile, click on your name, go down to settings. And then over on the left, connect settings and marketing profile. So you click on your picture, you go to settings, little gear, and then you will expand this thing that says connect settings, and then marketing profile.
So is there a way to know whether we've completed that? Okay.
Yeah, if you go there and it's filled out. Also, there's a little toggle up here at the top that says use my information for my KW site. Then yes. You good on that? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, it's some pretty basic information in here, guys. The part that usually tends to hang people up the most is their Market Center logo. So you can always ask from your Market Center copy of your logo. You can get it from KW Connect. There's just steps involved in it, and it actually does have a link to where you do that. But if you need help, your Market Center can help you guys get a logo. That's for all your compliance purposes. And always get it backwards. Are y'all Atlanta North or North Atlanta? It's Quan, right? So
Yes.
Atlanta North.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna get this right one day. Because North Fulton is North Atlanta, you guys are Atlanta North, it messes with my head. I know everybody by roster names. In the roster, y'all are Keller Williams East Cop. Like that's what it means to me. So anyway. But yeah, so your Atlanta North logo, if you guys need that, I'm sure Market Center can provide that for you guys. Were y'all able to find marketing profile?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but where do you put the area?
what do you mean?
Like you were able to put that, you say say I just wanna
Make
show
your
on the
computer easier
homepage,
to use.
East Cobb
Windows will
homes,
read and
right?
scan.
Yep, nothing to do with your marketing profile.
Oh,
Yep.
alright, never mind.
Marketing
I'm not
profile
lost.
is just, how do I contact you?
Oh,
What
yeah.
brokerage do you work for? What's the address? Like, you know, what's your email address to, like that kind of
Contact.
stuff, yeah. Yep. That is a good question though, and I can see where those two could be connected. So if you're back at the home of command, you'll notice in the bottom left, there's this little kind of web page looking little couple boxes right here. If you click on that, that will bring you to here. And this is where that expert mode, basic mode thing has come up. Now, I don't know why they have beta up on the top of that, I'll be honest. I don't know why they haven't taken that off. It's gonna be the same on y'all's. We're not in a beta right now. So just ignore that for the moment. There are two ways you can edit your website. I'm gonna show you guys expert mode today, okay? Because you do a lot more in expert mode. Although it's a little bit weird to get started in expert mode. So just like we were talking about, like I only wanna show homes in East Cobb, it's a little harder to do that unless you're in expert mode. So if we hit edit agent site, which seems the logical thing to do, this takes us into basic mode. And in basic mode, we can go and we can click on our home page, we can drop an image in there to go at the top, we can change the headline and title. But when we come down to the featured listings, you don't get a ton of options. We get center point, which is that pin on the map, and it can be any address you want. They'll never see what address you set. So it could be like some random person's house, like it
I'm
does
gonna
not
use your
matter.
house in East Cobb.
Yeah, exactly. They're not gonna go to the website and be like, well, I know where he lives now. Like, they won't know that. It'll give you radius, and then it'll give you price. That's really about all it gives you options on. In expert mode, you can set bedrooms, you can set types of properties, like there's a lot of cool stuff. So we're not gonna worry about that as much, we're gonna actually just worry about this thing that says expert mode in the top right, okay? It's this little kind of tealish box, and it's got like a little arrow pointing off to the,
So I went to the camera, what is his website, and I go there, and then how did I get there?
Yep, so yours has not upgraded to the new website yet. You're still on the old website.
Oh,
I didn't even know anybody could still be on the old website, because this is the 28th, that was 13 days ago. So you'll have to hit upgrade. There's a thing that says upgrade, and you'll have to go through the steps that it
Okay.
tells you.
alright.
But it would say upgrade if we have it.
Correct, that is correct. Did most of y'all see what I saw, have seen what I've
At
seen?
the
Okay.
top, it just says beta and settings.
Yep, that's the new website. The old websites, it's got these little rows, and then it says if you'd like to upgrade, and the 15th of this month was a hard stop, but they said it might take a couple weeks for them to roll out everybody's websites to the new one, so. Once you're on this space though, expert mode, we click on that, it's gonna take us over to something that is a little, like I said, gobbledygook. This is expert mode. Now,
What did you hit to get there?
Yeah.
just expert mode, all I did was click, go
It
to
doesn't
expert
say
mode.
expert.
It doesn't say mine.
Edit site.
Oh, edit site, then expert mode.
Site and edit settings.
I'm starting to think we maybe should have scheduled a little bit more time for this class. Cause I'm
Just maybe.
going, hang on a second.
So what's the
And it's not on anybody here, this is just, it's dense content, like there's a lot of very technical pieces to it, so.
Is there a way to zoom your screen?
No.
Maybe, let's see.
That'll help, so as
Does
we're
that help,
following-
that all guys? Okay,
So property landing page versus landing page.
yeah, so here's the thing. If you're looking at this and you're going, I don't know what's going on, this doesn't look very intuitive, just know that you're not alone in that space, because it's exactly my initial response when I first logged into the new system. Has anybody here ever built a website before?
No.
Okay, yes, a couple. Alright. For those who have built this, and built a website before, this particular content management system, they would call it, it's called Brightspot. It's a cross between something like a Wix and like Wix and Squarespace and like WordPress. So it has a lot of options, but it can be a little bit overwhelming at first, which is why they're trying to make the basic mode to cover for most agents. It just doesn't have all the options we want yet. If I scroll down, we're gonna ignore this quick start thing. Those are to create new content. We're just gonna completely ignore that. We're not trying to create new content. We need our home page set up. Number one, we need to make sure we're showing homes in East Cobb or whatever market we wanna show. So down here at the bottom are the pages that have already been pre-created. Okay, these are your default pages. And so up here at the top in your default pages, there's one that says page homepage. If you want to follow along, you're welcome to do this, but that's where we're going to go to set up our banner image, our headlines, our featured listings, all of that. So anything that's on our homepage is going to be there. We just click the link to edit it, and it's going to pull us into an editor. Now, the way that our website editor works on this is, the way I like to refer to it is a module-based website editor. Meaning that your page is basically a bunch of modules stacked on top of each other. It's like a module, a module, a module, a module. These modules can be used on other pages too. So the modules we're using here can be used elsewhere. The only one I don't think you can reuse is the one that's the search bar. I think this is the only page that shows up on. So on that Find Your Home in Atlanta, I have 4 modules on this page. Top one's that search bar, the next one's the featured listings, sits below it. Then I have my testimonials, and then I have my blog. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
What was
Yeah, mine looks different.
You have this?
No, mine looks different in that. It's homepage. I do too, but that's what it's coming up. These 4.
Homepage,
Yeah.
yeah, yours just doesn't say page homepage,
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't take,
weird.
but it doesn't take me to the same, that either.
Yeah, that's it, I'm in the same, we're in the same spot. I just expanded that.
Expanded the Let's Find Your Dream Home.
Uh-huh.
How do I update her?
Sorry, thank you.
I mean, her, was there something else yes. Now?
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's still running her old.
Okay, on, for page specifically, so, are you wanting to do this through the team side, or are we talking on the personal side? Y'all want to set it up for the team? Cause that's a process, that'll take 24 hours to get set up.
Oh, okay, so I'll probably call us. Right?
You call me,
Okay.
okay? Yeah, just call me,
Alright.
we'll get you taken care of.
Alright,
We'll get you figured out on that.
sounds good.
Teams are a little different, so if anybody's in the team space here, you actually have to claim your team website, you have to wait 24 hours and then you can use your team website. Okay, so if you're in that space, and we even need to do a small one-on-one, how about this? This is what I'll do is, at the end, we'll do the QR code, I'll send out an email to anybody, and if y'all fall in that team space, then we'll find a time in the next day or two that we can just pop on a quick call and walk through it, or I can even maybe pop back over here or something, okay? Does that work? Okay, because it's just a couple of extra steps for the team sites. Teams have a lot of nuance, because there's lead routing involved, there's the, your roster management, there's stuff that I don't think applies to everybody.
Okay.
So, but yeah, if you need to expand it, so going back to this is how it's gonna kind of look. What we observed, and I thought everybody said page and then homepage, apparently it didn't. Yours said what? It said like homepage.
Homepage.
Yeah. So that's a little misleading, I get that. These will also, the names of these will change sometimes based on what you title them, which is a little bit odd as well, but anyway, so. I'm gonna expand that Find Your Home in Atlanta. The reason it says Find Your Home in Atlanta is because I put find your home in Atlanta at the title. So if you wanna change that, you can. That's that statement that goes at the top of the search bar. Custom video is what I have in here by default, or not by default, this is custom video is what I had it in here. You guys probably have the default images. Are any of y'all seeing that, where it just has like the little pictures? Now, the way that those little pictures work is the first time you upload one of your own pictures, it's gonna turn off all the other pictures. They call those fallback images, which basically means you put something custom on there, they disappear. If you remove your custom stuff, they reappear. They do that so you won't have a blank spot on your website. So you can go and edit and all that kind of stuff, and nobody will go, oh my gosh, their website's broken. It won't look broken, it'll just replace it with some basically placeholders, okay? So you can add whatever pictures that you want. I will work on getting you guys a video to add the, if you wanna add like a video on this, because I think people kind of overthink video content in this kind of space, but once again, if I weren't using this, and I wanted it to be like more East Cobb specific, I may get like a photographer that's doing one of my listings to take their drone up and just fly it around and take some good shots. And I may get somebody with a phone or a gimbal, maybe even still my photographer, of me like shaking hands with some people and like smiling and talking to people, and then stitch it together into a little header video. Okay? It's not, there isn't a lot there to it, but it looks more interesting than just coming in and it's just a picture of a house. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't you have to be careful it's not too high res video because you'll load your page slower?
So the great part about this with the videos is they're hosted by Vimeo. Vimeo handles that for us.
So it doesn't matter. Got it.
But you can put your own video, you say.
Correct. Yeah. The video has to be uploaded to Vimeo, and then essentially the link is dropped into a place inside your website, and it just basically is playing that Vimeo video inside that box.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
You can't use YouTube. For anybody that's going, I have no idea what Vimeo is. Vimeo is like YouTube. It's just more for photographers and videographers. YouTube adds ads and those skip and all that. That's why we can't use YouTube videos here. Because otherwise you would have like ads and boxes and stuff showing up in the middle of your header, and that would not be a great experience.
No.
So that would not be good. That's about it for that top module. Okay, so just whatever you want it to say, and then whatever photos or video you want. And that's totally your choice. Just like I said, you add pictures or video, make sure you have the rights to add that picture or video.
For regular picture, does it have to be like a certain measurement?
There are guidelines, but I'm just gonna say upload the largest resolution picture you can find, and if it doesn't look grainy, then go for it. The reason why I say that is the size that the website shows is based on the device you're looking at it with.
I'm just saying because it's so wide.
You just wanna make sure you have a landscape of some kind. So, if you're real into photography or you pay attention to at least resolutions on TVs or something like that, like a 16:9 or a 4K is perfectly fine as far as ratios. So, I know this is a lot of information. I feel like I'm dumping so much information
No, I've already
right
learned
now.
something, so.
Are there any stock photos and designs?
Not designs. Technically, yes, but to get to them is not the best experience. So I would probably, Pexels is another website you can get stock images from. Pixabay, something like that, I think is one. Just make sure it's a website that's like, hey, these are royalty-free stock photos. And just know that every other realtor is gonna be using that same house that you used, okay? That is. Have y'all seen that blue house, that really like cottage kind of looking house? It's like a new build that's on every realtor thing ever. I could probably do a Google image search and it would pop up right now. Everyone has used it. I have used it, okay? Don't use that one. It's a good picture, but it's overused. I put homes we love, and then the descriptions, what comes underneath. So it's like heading, subheading. I wish they just called them heading and subheading there. But that's what the title is. So where you see homes we love, that's above the listing module, and the subheading is below that. So I put homes we love and I said great homes to live in downtown. Okay, because I put Dunwoody as the pin. Now technically there's still some houses that get caught in my thing that are further down, but mostly it pulls listings from Brookhaven. So.
Can we title that section anything or?
Yep, yep, as long as it's compliant, you can title it whatever you want. Okay, so we get a couple different options when it comes to adding our listings. There is dynamic and there's basic. Dynamic is gonna be what you're gonna use for our today's example. Basic would be only if you wanted to display a small group of properties, okay? So let's say you have 10 specific listings that you only wanna show on your website, you don't ever wanna show anything else. You can literally key in the MLS numbers and only show those 10 listings, okay? But if you want it dynamic, which is, you want it dynamic, because you don't wanna spend all your time updating listings on your website, what you're gonna do is you're gonna set it to dynamic and you're gonna use some of the rules that are down here below. Okay, so location, that's your center point, that's your pin on the map. Like I said, I use the Southeast Region's office at Dunwoody, right over there at Ravinia. This can be any address you want, no one will ever know what address you selected, pick anything. It just has to exist on a map. When you start typing it in, it will try to fill it in for you. So it will start to guess what you're trying to type in. Now this doesn't really apply to us, to show properties in this state or province only. We had some market centers that are on the border of Canada. Since we pull Canadian MLS feeds as well, it was causing some confusion, so y'all don't have to worry about that setting right there. There were people in Michigan that were getting listings that were pulling in from from Canada, and people get really confused over, I wanna go look at that house, well you can't buy it, you don't live in that country. So, maximum number to display, that's how many are gonna be in your carousel. So I put 10, put whatever you want. I don't think there's a right or a wrong answer there. Search radius, I had 15 miles. So 15 miles goes down pretty deep into downtown. But that's what I did, set that accordingly. Sort listings by, I like recently updated, because it means the freshest content shows up there first. And so if something has an open house coming, if they've added something to it, changed photos, price changes, any of that, new listing, any of those status changes will put them first in the list. Now you can also additionally add some listings, so if you wanted to manually add some, you could do that as well. I don't think you have to worry about that as much because we do have this new feature called My Listings. So if you have synced, and this is important, we don't have the opportunity to go through all the steps on this, but if you have synced your listings inside of Command and you turn My Listings on there, it'll put your listings first in that feed. It'll still use those rules, but it'll put your listings first. So let's say you have 5 listings, and you say, let's display 10, it's gonna put your 5, and it's gonna put 5 from your search criteria. Go.
Will it choose the 5, excuse me, under my listings, is it choosing within 15 miles of that target point, or is wherever
Your
the listings
listings, yep.
Why wouldn't you just turn it on? You just leave it
Correct,
there?
yeah, and if you want to do that, 100%. Now, I'm not carrying any listings right now, so it's gonna not do anything for me.
So instead of having to go back in and turn it on.
If you have a team account for my team folks in here, and we get this set up, you can even set it to my team's listings. So, it'll pull in any team member's listings.
I did that, but now everything disappeared.
Now everything disappeared.
Do you have any listings?
Yes.
Have you synced the listings on Command?
I think it takes them.
There's a process, you have to go sync my listings, you have to claim a property from FMLS or Georgia MLS, then you have to sync. Have you done, yeah.
How do you do that?
How would we know if we've done that?
I don't think we have time to go through that.
Okay.
There is, I will show you where it is, and there's an article on it.
Okay.
The reason I say we don't have time is because there's troubleshooting involved, sometimes. See that little picture of house down here? Sync my MLS, and you follow the steps that it says.
Okay.
Once you claim one property within an MLS, you should be good. So for you guys, you have to claim the property twice, unless you only want to pull the FMLS version. Like that's fine too. But That's where you would end up doing it.
Okay.
The reason I say there's some troubleshooting to be done is the MLS has on record your email address. And if your email address doesn't match properly, like sometimes people have mismatches in that to get the verification email to make this activate. And so sometimes you have to log in to FMLS and maybe change your profile and fix something, because people will not know that, hey, I have an email address in there that, because I've been in real estate 10 years, that I had 10 years ago and I don't use that one anymore. You have a question?
I do. So my menu on the left-hand side as you were going through with the, whatever it is, the 4 items on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
Yes. So I have those 4 sections, but all of a sudden, my reflection of the page is having an article on first-time homebuyers.
Yeah, that's because it's at the bottom. You currently are not pulling any listings in based on whatever criteria you set. Which means your listings.
The listings are down below.
Yeah, could you have my listings turned on? Oh.
Yeah, it was even before that, like if I turn this off, it's still there.
I don't have an answer for that.
But it just
I think you just drag it
like
above it.
I was
No,
the
it won't let
runners.
you.
Edit, no?
Yes,
You
not-
cannot reorder these modules.
Oh, now it changed again.
Okay.
Now it's gone. But even before
I don't think you can. Maybe you can. Okay. This is something you weren't able to do. So
Y'all
it
just taught
could
Patrick
be
something.
that you move the module. Okay. Well, you may try moving the module.
Okay.
It may just be having a fit.
Yeah, it flipped the listings and the article, but that article is still there.
Okay. I have noticed on a couple of the filters that it does weird things like that sometimes. That's why I was like, hang on a second, if we can document this, but is it in the right place now?
Well, I mean, I don't have, like, take it from our experts, I don't have that section over on the left-hand side.
So the third one, when you close all your modules, you don't have that third one?
Let me look. The third one should be testimonials.
Yes.
Yeah, this is take it from our experts and it's there's the blog, it's the blog. Okay, I'm good, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Alright, no, you're good.
It's just flipping it around by itself though, as far as the order.
It probably has something to do with the criteria that are set. So you have to scroll down and look at the rest of the options that were selected in there. There's a bunch of them. See, it's set to my listings, and then under filter listings, we have no listing categories selected. We only have active. Yeah, you've got to select some options, yeah. Okay. How long do you guys want to go today? How are y'all feeling?
I'm feeling like I need to learn some more.
Okay.
Another 30 minutes?
Can you show us a landing page?
Yeah, can we do the
like
landing page?
How to do that quickly?
Quickly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my best in this, because this is the thing, I wanna show up for you guys. 30 minutes? You all
Yes.
wanna add 30 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll quickly finish what's on here and then we'll do the landing page. And then everything else, we'll just have to circle back around, or if you guys want to set something up later.
Set up
Let me-
another appointment.
Let me quickly message somebody who if this is gonna butt up to an appointment I have, that's the reason why I was like, hang on a second, let me make sure. And then we will just thunder on, guys. I'm running a little bit behind, period. Can we meet around 1:35, question mark? I know you're tight on time. Right. Okay,
Can I ask a question?
of course you can,
I'm
yeah.
not a button pusher.
Okay.
I'm terrified. Am I allowed to, like, I'm kind of curious about the one that says styles next to main. Am I allowed to look on there, or will it change anything? Can I hurt?
You're fine.
Okay.
Okay, so this is actually a great question.
Okay.
You can't break anything in this, guys, because If you notice here on the right side, there's a thing that says revisions. The new websites have what is called a revision history, so if you break something, you can roll back to what you did before. So it's like an undo button.
Just save it before you get it.
I haven't touched it, so I have
Yeah,
nothing to
it
say.
is, basically, that's what the revisions over there is, an undo history. And so you can go back and say, hey, I wanna go back to the last time I saved it, or
So we can
whatever.
look around, as long as we don't,
100%.
okay.
Don't worry about messing something up, it's fine, and we're learning things about like it moving around, I don't know about that one. Okay, so the My Listings, guys, you have to have it synced, that is definitely something you have to do. You can also have it only pull listings from the Market Center if you would like, that's up to you guys too. Down here under filter listings, and actually, side note, on just the Market Center listings, if y'all have an internal way of sharing compensation and things like that, that may be a reason to share brokerage, I don't know, okay, just, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a broker, I'm just saying, anyway. If you're promoting those properties first, whatever.
That
You didn't hear me, sorry.
little button, it says, show properties in this state province only.
Okay, ignore that.
Okay, I
Don't
can
even touch
leave that the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was for the Canadian thing. So basically, if we were butting up against another country, we would want to turn that on because we'd only want to show things that are in our country.
All right, so you have it in the off position right
Yeah,
now,
just
is that
yeah,
right?
just leave
Okay.
it. Yeah, it's defaulted to off.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, filter listings. Listing categories, sale, sold, rent, so on and so on. If you're gonna do homes for sale, make sure it's set on sale. Listing status, active, pending, coming soon. Typical statuses, make sure you set those accordingly. And like I said, I did houses, townhouses, and condos. I think by default it has everything, and every once in a while, if you have your prices set at certain levels, it'll just bring land in, and that just doesn't look really great on a landing page on a website. It doesn't matter how you slice it, land does not look good on a feed. I mean, you know what I mean? There's a lot.
Yeah.
Cool. You want houses on your front. You can set minimums and maximums on bedrooms. But mostly I'll bring you down to price minimum. Set a floor on this is what I recommend. Okay, I set 600,000 for mine. So you can set a floor on that. You may set it a little bit lower than that. I was getting all kinds of crazy properties where I was at, and that's why I said 600,000 as my floor. Doesn't mean that I wouldn't sell a $500,000 house. It's just all this. I want really, really nice, pretty looking properties on the front page of my website. Okay? Like, let's just be honest. There you go. You can't add keywords. I would ignore that portion. That is very MLS dependent on if it works or not. That would be things like pool. That would be things like master on main, like stuff like that, or ensuite, ensuite on main, or any of that kind of stuff. So, does this make sense here, guys? Okay. We're not. Since we want to do the landing page, I don't think that we will have enough time to go through testimonials and everything. But what I am going to do is I will send you guys a recording of the last time I taught on websites for the region, and I've got a section where I go through all those steps. And so I'll make sure that you guys get that content. It's not difficult. The basics of it are that if you go to your website and you go more, and you say leave a review, you pretend like you are someone leaving you a review. You fill this out. It goes into a database inside of your website, and then you can choose which ones you share. Does that make sense?
Write them first, check them later.
Yeah, you just, so if you have them somewhere else, you can just copy and paste these in.
But you gotta add the template first, cause it's not default.
No, it's already in there. It's just, the reason it's not showing for many of y'all, your reviews is because y'all haven't turned any reviews on. So when there's no reviews to show, it disappears.
Okay, so can you repeat the steps very quickly again?
Yep, so you go to your own website.
Yes.
You leave yourself reviews.
Okay.
Like you're somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to send it to someone for a review,
You
you just send them that link.
Yeah, say, hey, can you go to here and fill this out? Now, the caveat is, you're not gonna get a notification that they filled it out. You're gonna have to go check.
Check it.
I want them to add that. That is definitely something that has been proposed, but it doesn't currently exist. So you could have 100 reviews in there and not even know it unless you go look.
where are you looking?
That's gonna be inside of the testimonials piece, that's what I'm saying, if we wanna do landing pages, we won't be able to do all of that.
That's fine.
It is inside the module for the testimonials. There is a place to say featured testimonials, you add them and they show up here in a list that you grab from, so. Do we feel like we know anything more on the homepage? I feel like we've gone through a lot of technical pieces on this, so.
I got a quick question.
Yes.
On the website itself, do you have to have whatever the website, like AtlantaFineHomes.kw.com, or you have to have the KW part of it?
Yep. The technical answer for that, it has to do with the agreement Keller Williams has with the MLSs around the United States. If you were to go to your own like custom URL and it was fully domain controlled, you would have to pay an IDX feed for 800 and something MLSs to be able to get the same functionality out of it.
Got it.
And now, and each of them run anywhere between $50 and $150 a month. So if you wanted a website that has the capabilities of our KW.com website on your own .com without it saying .kw.com on it, it's literally $15,000 a month to have those fees. That's the legal answer to it.
Thank you.
Because when you get an IDX feed, if nobody has ever gotten their own website, they'll say, hey, what MLSs do you want? And you say, I want FMLS, I want Georgia MLS. And you're like, oh, can I add so-and-so? And they'll be like, sure, it's $150 more a month. And you're like, oh, no, I don't need it that bad. Yeah. But the KW ones, you have all of US and Canada, including Mexico, the Caribbean, France. There's like 10 other countries that all get rolled up into it too, so you can look at a lot. Landing pages, okay? So here's the big thing on landing pages, guys. If you create a custom page on your website, see in the top right how it says more on mine?
Yeah.
Custom pages are gonna go under more. Landing pages are not. Landing pages are gonna exist in another reality that you have to send someone directly to it. The purpose of a landing page is to say, I'm sending you to a site. Not that somebody gets there by accident. You don't get the landing pages by accident. Like you're sending it directly to a specific person. Typically landing pages are used to capture information or some kind of squeeze page, or in the case of what you guys are talking about, is to share specific information, okay? So
You were
when
told can't do that or like, put it under more.
I would not recommend it. Because I think it is, not an attorney, not your broker. I think it's pretty close to potentially skirting the letter of the law.
Well, you also have consumer accessibility, which
Correct.
you don't need that.
Your consumers would be able to directly
Yeah, I
go
think
to this.
about
And
that.
at the end of the day, agent XYZ over at some other company is not gonna know to go to your Keller Williams website to find that landing page. They're gonna reach out to you and go, what's the deal on this? And you're gonna be like, here's where you find out. So whatever
Your
your,
landing page can be like the property website. I mean, the property landing page that you used to do where you have all the details of it and then you just provide
could, but
compensation in there too,
then you would
right?
have to you'd have to create a property landing page for every listing you have.
I do anyway.
What one agent in Atlanta that I know that carries about 25 listings at a time has done, she has one page that all of her listings are on.
Okay.
She calls them her offer information is what she calls it.
Okay.
And she just updates that information, she gets new stuff, and it's not complicated, it's like this address, here's what's being offered, here's any additional documents you need.
Yeah,
This
what
address,
shows.
there's no pictures, there's no anything else, there's no prices, anything, it's like literally just, here's the address,
Here's the offer.
here's the offer instructions, that's it. And which makes it easier for her to update, so she just sends a link to everybody. So instead of like when somebody says, hey, I need to know about 1234 Main Street, you go, where's my link for 1234 Main Street? You just send them to one thing that has all your listings on it.
And can that, sorry for all the questions, but can that then have links to the
Links to
disclosures?
anything you want.
All the disclosure
Yeah.
information? Okay, awesome.
Yep, as long as you've got them hosted somewhere.
Yep,
Your KW website won't host them, but it can link them.
okay.
okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. So to create this, we would say landing page, okay? That's what these things up at the top are to create new pages. That's what these little blocks are. And so we would say landing page. There we go. So you do want it to generate a permalink, which basically means a link that can be used forever. And you can actually, after you create the page, you can name that link, so it doesn't have to be some really long, they call it a slug is what that's called, but it doesn't have to be a really long slug. It can be my offer information. So it could be fitzpatrick.kw.com/my offer information, if I wanted to make it that. It comes with no modules installed. The module you guys are gonna want for this, if you hit add, is going to be, hang on a second, no, that's the URLs, hang on. I'm used to having my screen blown all the way up, I'm missing some of my elements, so you guys just bear with me. Let's see, it is down here at the bottom, page contents. Add module, and the one you're gonna want is called rich text. Rich text is basically a block you can type in, that's all it is.
Oh.
So it's gonna drop that little block inside of there, you can title it, listings offer information. And then I would put whatever, and it looks weird because we haven't zoomed in, but typically, you can say 1, 2, 3, 4 Main Street, 2.5 / we'll just put 2.5 fire. Okay, and then you could put a link, like disclosure, and then you could change that word disclosure into a link to wherever your documents are held. Let's see, let's make it an external link. I'll just send it to.
That could be your Google Docs or something.
100%. You just need to make sure if you use Google Docs that you have your sharing set up to anyone with link.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, so I have a link there. I have the property address. You could add pictures and stuff if you wanted to. Up at the top, it does allow you to add like a header image to this page, so you could dress it up a little bit. Let's see. Oh, it would let me pull from my library. It's no, I don't want to add item. Oh, that's right. I do it with here. Grab one of the pictures I already had uploaded. Sure, I'll just use this one. Okay. And then I can hit publish. Oh, and landing page title. I thought I did a listing offer information.
What was the external for?
For the link, is an external link. Oh, I see what it is. Yeah, offer information. Hang on a second. Let me see if I say. Okay, updated. Okay. Now you see it renamed my URL to offer-information. Yes?
Where do we put the link? Under description?
No, the link would be inside of your rich text.
Okay.
So down here where you're typing all the information you're gonna share, you would just say like disclosure or whatever you want that to actually be, and then you just select it and there's a link button.
And that can go to Google Doc, that's a Google Doc.
It can go to anywhere you wanna send it.
So the bottom is kind of like using Microsoft Word.
100%, that is a great analogy.
Yeah.
It's like typing stuff in Microsoft Word. Yep, that's what rich text means.
So we
Excuse me.
went down and added the module and the rich text module. Mine's showing up different.
Where do we add module?
Because I was able to
Modules
do.
on the bottom.
Yep, you gotta scroll all the way to the bottom.
Yeah, I did that.
Yep, that's not, yeah, you gotta scroll all, keep going. Oh, that's where you should have put that information.
Yeah. But then is it,
You'll have to
that's the
name,
title
you'll have to name the
again.
rich text, you'll have to name it something.
So all of this really should go here.
Yeah, you could do that.
instead of the way I have it. Okay.
You just have to mess around with it till the format's the way that that looks presentable.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So let's see, fitzpatrick.kw.com/offer information. So I know that off the top of my head now, so if I go to that, boom. So I just send everybody to that link. Anytime they ask, what are y'all offering? Okay? And then I just, when I take a new listing, I make it part of my process to just go in here and update the information. Property address, what we're offering, and then any disclosures or anything that need to go along with it. Yes?
Are you gonna put all yours on the same page like you were talking about?
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
That, or
It
rather,
seems easier.
that's what
Yeah.
I would personally do, because
Yeah, that's what
then
I'm- yeah.
the biggest challenge, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we're really trying to solve here is you wanna make it as easy as possible to share the information with another agent when they ask, right?
Yes, absolutely.
As long as there's no compliance reasons, you can't put them all on the same page, I say put them all on the same page.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because that's the easiest workflow. Now, if your broker says anything different, I'm not your broker, okay? You gotta do what you gotta do.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just don't think centralizing them between brokerages is the best way to do it, because I
Well,
have a
that
feeling
sounds
that'll
bad.
be
Yeah,
another
that sounds bad.
lawsuit. And I don't know if anybody read the Inman article, but basically the DOJ was like, we will be watching.
Yes.
And I am seeing people in a particular Facebook group that is adjacent to Keller Williams, that has a lot of non-Keller Williams people talking very openly about things they should not be talking about at all. So don't be one of those people, okay?
Yes.
Don't be one of those people. Yes,
Where do I find this now?
once it's created,
Yeah.
okay? So whatever at the top of the page your URL is, inside the landing page, scroll up to the top. Did you publish it?
Yes.
Okay, there it is. If you were to click on that, it'll take you to that page. So there's your link for that page.
So, and I guess I don't know what I'm asking because I'm looking for, where's it?
Yeah, you will never find it on your website. You just get it,
It's not, yeah.
you have to send them the link. That's by design. You don't want someone being able to find it on your website.
Okay.
You're creating a repository for all your listings, the compensation information. You are not making it available to people unless they
How to
ask.
send it somewhere.
So yesterday, Ned Blumenthal and Cheryl King said we can put it on our website.
I am not your broker.
No,
I am not an attorney. I'm not telling you what to do.
Okay.
You can do it. You can do it on the website.
I'm trying to figure out how.
There are rules. There are rules to that. And the question is, do you want consumers going to your website and knowing what compensation is being offered on all your listings?
So we need to have someone call us and then we send them this link, or can we
Or if
put
they
this
t-
link somewhere where they can just go and I can avoid those phone calls?
I'm not your broker, I'm not an attorney. My opinion is you don't avoid phone calls with other agents, because that's a problem in the industry right now.
Yeah.
How many times have you just received an email on an offer and no one ever communicated with you?
No, and I get that, but I
Yeah.
mean, the amount of calls that I get just to ask me something that is here, I can limit the number of calls if I have some place to say, go there and look.
Oh, you're gonna educate all the agents.
That link right there is what you just respond back and you have it already saved in your phone. You just text it to them.
Okay.
So basically, there's no automated way to get around.
There are ways you can do it, but like I said, I'm not an attorney. I bet you it's gonna kick me back to the beginning.
It did.
I hate it when it. Okay, guys, scan this QR code right here. If I make it full screen, it's gonna go back away.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I will send you follow-up information. I feel like we just got started.
I feel like you used to live here for a few weeks. It should be like a sleep-in kind of a, you know,
We could have pizza. I remember a lock-in, right? Do
full
we
day
have,
session.
anybody?
That would be awesome.
Is there a place to roller skate in here? Can we do that? Cause I remember a lock-in when I was a kid where we was at a
So great.
roller rink, you know, pizza, tons of soda, lots of candy, video games.
Is this class Command A61?
it to Maine?
You can make it whatever you want. Pick and choose. I think I may have something on websites. I don't know if this particular one is in there. I know we had a lot of content, and my intention was for y'all to walk away with something useful. So I guess my question for y'all before we close out on this is, what ahas did you have from today? Other than that, we need to have a lock-in.
That you can't break the website.
You can't break the website. You can't. It can always be fixed.
Okay.
Yeah. You can always roll back.
My aha was how easy it actually really was, because I was stressing, like, I don't know what's going on. It's just a lot, and it was so easy.
Well, good.
You made it so simple.
Well, you made my day on that because I was feeling like this was not very easy. Easy, so. Was this valuable at all?
Yes.
Okay, that's the part I want. I know we have a lot of feelings and emotions and questions and all this. I just want to make sure that this time was valuable. I never want to waste y'all's time, that's
And I
for
didn't know
sure.
about the expert mode.
Yeah, it's a new thing. Well, the expert mode's the original mode. What's new is the basic mode. They just added the basic mode. Yeah.
What's the point?
For you to get your website set up in less than 2 minutes. Yeah. All the steps we went through, you can do that on basic mode, but you don't get a lot of options. So. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna send you all a follow-up email, probably tomorrow morning. And I'll have a class in there. I will also, if anybody had teams, I know we had a couple of teams, y'all feel free to reach out and we'll get that portion figured out, get you connected on that.
That's amazing.
Was that the girl sitting in the?
You think Marlon left there?
I'll call her.
I know. She put my phone number on it.
Oh wow, I feel like I gave her lights this time. I didn't know. I think I'm remarkable. How are you?
So we can you know what?
Florida's help.
I did.
Brother shows me how it
I don't like it.
That's not. Brother shows me how little I know.
Same.
I'm getting further and further away from. Real not good. One step forward, 3 steps
I took
back.
off time for it, and my wife's like, my mom's not gonna be able to make it till Friday.
I think the key is,
Yeah. So we're gonna do Friday and
something learned,
Saturday.
everything
With
better than
us.
I just, next time I'm really working on it.